Just excuse me with my cell phone here, but I've got a little bit of battery, and I've just tried to connect in with Jacqueline now. So we'll just see if we can do it. Right. Thank you, Cheryl. You can come and join me here. For myself, I'm the principal of AF Louw. Those of you who don't know, we're in the middle of Stellenbosch, believe it or not, but we serve the very diverse part of Stellenbosch. English, Afrikaans, Kayamandi, Cluttersville. So it's a very interesting dynamic that we have at school on a daily basis. On a personal note, I've been following Louise on Twitter for many, many years, and have watched the development of Partners for Possibility. And when I took over as the caretaker principal of AF Louw in 2016, I contacted Partners for Possibility and said, please, please. And they said, sorry, you're only a caretaker, you're not allowed. I said, okay, fine, all right. I've discovered there's a reason why things happen. So when Jessica approached me to say she was setting up the Winelands Circle 10 and would I like to be part of it, I think after Selwyn contacted me, I said, yes, please. And she partnered me with Jacqueline, and we've been a very good partnership through a very tough year. So I'm doing the presentation, and I will try and give you Jacqueline's input. I do have it here with me. Personally, on the time to think, a number of people have commented today, but that absolute joy of getting somebody's full attention is what really struck with me, to learn not to interrupt. I think most of us as principals are interrupters. It's hard, still hard, I'm learning. The power of the pause. And then, and so, and to just leave it and see what comes forward. I'm learning, not easy. Flawless Consulting came around at a time when I had a situation between two staff members who weren't talking to each other. And this is where Jacqueline, the partnership worked, because she had managed a similar situation at work, and she gave me guidelines, and together we brainstormed how I would deal with it. I've got the two staff members, we haven't had another issue since then, and it just was, we formally sat down and recontracted between the two staff members. Community building, and this was one of the key areas for me of coming into AF Louw. I'm a white principal in a school that is not predominantly a white school. Our school is not in the community. It's in Kayamandi, it's in Cluttersville. I live out in Eerste-Rivier. So we're not a community school. And this was one of my key reasons, and Jacqueline as well, the two of us, was to build the school community. For Jacqueline, she hasn't been exposed to a school system. I think Janine or somebody said she's been through school, and that's about it. All right? And she thought that the value she would add was her business knowledge, and how right she was. An absolute thinking partner. We meet once a week on Zoom. You'll see just now, and we are able to sound out ideas with each other. She learned the time to think, also the need to pause, and to deliberately take time out to put on her own oxygen mask. If she doesn't put on her own oxygen mask, you can't help somebody else. Flawless Consulting. If you can't say no, your yes means nothing. And that's a tough one. And that in community building, she learned that she needs to change a challenge into a possibility. What if I had the time to? What if? The importance of small groups. We've spoken about that this afternoon. The group of 3. The interrupted judges. As you're interrupting, you're already judging. We need to allow people to finish their conversations. And she's gained a lot of respect for educators and principals. Right, what did we physically only seen each other 5 times prior to lockdown, and not once since then. So we communicate via Zoom, we work through Zoom, we work through email, we work through WhatsApp, we work through electronic communication the whole time. We like-minded, focused, purpose-driven, and determined to try and get some results. We've undertaken, and this was our core undertaking, COVID interrupted us. And I think more than anybody else, it interrupted our program. And we have undertaken to be listening, thinking partners for each other. And we do that once a week. We've committed time in our diaries to go to our safe space. And we touch, we share, we talk. And whatever happens, what we discuss between the two of us, stays between the two of us. It doesn't go elsewhere. I know it. We both know it's a safe space. And our partnership has thrived, even though we physically can't sit and have a cup. I think both of us get very jealous when we do see the pictures of all of you out having cups of coffee. We do get jealous, but we know we can't do it. So what did we do? We survived COVID. That's a feather in our caps. We built a strong foundation for current and future projects. We've both got ideas. We need to get to a world without COVID. We've given each other tools to handle different situations, and that's been important. A parent partnership plan is top on, just like Peter, it's top on our agenda. We've tried things this year which have worked, and we're going to continue with that. Jacqueline has a contact with LASEC Education, who provide life skills kits. We're just trying to get hold of them to come back to us. Everybody's working out of the office. And we've discovered that we have to do things differently. We can't do things the same old way. We have to think out the box. And this is Jacqueline's evidence of our meetings. I actually didn't even know she was doing screenshots until she puts us together and says, I've taken screenshots. Oh, did you? So Jacqueline, thank you for that, dear. It's allowed us to catch up and just have our weekly touch-base sessions. And that's been her working space for the last year. Evidence of success. As a school, we've coped, we've survived COVID. We've had no children sick with it, and we had myself and one other educator got sick with it. And I think that in itself has been an achievement. Of course, we all had to set up, you can go on, Jessica, we had to set up to new normal, all the new equipment that we all had to get and provide, and of course new ways of meeting, all the distance, keeping apart from everybody else. We had assistance from Youth at Work, who provided us with 2 interns, and there's one of our interns helping out there. So that was a fantastic help. Tech savvy, we've started moving towards technology. That was also as we try and improve literacy. That is one of our aims, is to move more into the technological era. Sia, our one intern here on the left, actually is an ex-RF Louw pupil. So he's returned and come back to his roots, and he's our, he oversees our morning register. What we're going to do without him come the 1st of June, I don't know. It took me 2 hours to do his register this morning because he was sick. And then Edith manages the staff. This was our big challenge last year. The Winelands 10 are aware of it. We got to August, we had a bank balance of 130,000 Rand, 100 of which is monthly running expenses. That was us in August. And we started this year, between us, Jacqueline and I, we brainstormed, how can we do, what can we do, da-da-da. And we've actually started this year on a 6-figure bank balance. So that has been an absolute thing. And so what we did various fundraising. We've sold veggies to staff, and we had a donation of ice cream, which we then sold onto staff. We actually got some more today, and the children will get this one that we got today. But we made a few pennies on that. So whatever opportunity we could get, that was our core focus. Okay. And a lot of it went down to the staff, who ended up driving, particularly the need to get in school fees and following. And so we gave back to the staff where we could. Jacqueline, and with the help of Remgrow, provided us with some laptops as part of our drive for electronic devices. And it was one of the things that I think business partners don't realize. Teachers in a school, if you want to use anything or if you want anything, you have to buy it yourself. You don't get a laptop from work. You have to buy it. And I have staff members who don't have their own laptops. So there were 6 staff members who benefited, who now are able to use a laptop and prepare work at home. A 7th one now, and the other laptops are in the safe and they're used in the computer room and they rotate as people need them. And that has been such a help for all the teachers. We can't provide, we can't do that for staff. We changed our budget. This was our budget letter that went home. You know, the formal one, this was the agenda. This is what we sent home on a different color piece of paper. We had, we usually get about maybe 20 people at our budget meeting if we're lucky. We had just under 100 this year. Wow. And we started the budget meeting with the ideas that came from the community building session, where the community, people had to introduce themselves to each other, and we got parents talking to each other who had never spoken to each other before. And so we now send letters home. You know, the usual parents get a piece of paper and they don't read it. So the accounts all used to go home on a white piece of paper. Now the accounts every month go on a different color piece of paper. So you don't know that this might actually be an account that's coming home this month, because it's a blue piece of paper and you don't know what's on the blue piece of paper. Or next month it'll be on a yellow piece of paper, but you don't know what's on the yellow piece of paper. So those are just some of the things that we learned to try and build the community around the school and bring parents in to help us. But from both of us, to Partners for Possibility and Symphonia, without you, this wouldn't have been possible. It's a road, it's a journey we've both traveled. It's been difficult. We've grown, we've got to know each other. We've both learned skills that have helped us in our workplaces. To Remgrow, first of all, for sponsoring Jacqueline to be part of the program and for the laptops. HP, forgot that. HP, we had a lovely donation. Some laptops were donated to some principals by HP. And Jessica, you know, all know Jessica. If you don't arrive, you lose out. And somebody didn't arrive. So I scored. Thank you, Jessica. I use it every day. It's wonderful. Lemonade Hub, that's the person who assisted us with the parent invitation that went home, putting all of that together, and LASEC as a potential donor. So that's been our incredible journey this year.
Well done.